Hello, I am Apryl Nicole and you are watching Apryl Nicole Design. Thank you so much for clicking the video and I hope you enjoy it. So I have this cobalt blue dress. It's a shift dress. Got this from a lady a long time ago. And I finally have a chance to do something with it. Shift dresses are loosely fitted and sheath dresses are fitted along the waist and the hips. So this particular dress, it is 100% wool. It has a round neck. It does have a vent on the back. There aren't any zippers or buttons or anything. This is mostly a pullover dress. What I love about this dress is it has pockets. It's one of my favorite things. I love dresses with pockets. It does have a center back seam, but I don't know what I'm gonna do with it yet. So this dress is way too big for me. I want to be creative with this. I might make this into a two-piece. We'll see how that goes. So I have so many ideas, but I don't really know which one I'm going to choose. So I decided to sketch out some things that were floating in my head just to see what I can do with this blue dress.
Here's what the dress looks like. Obviously, it's too big, but I love the pockets. If you know, you know. It's also too long for me, and I'm short. What to do, what to do? I could take it in. No, we shall see. Apparently, I want a two-piece. From left to right, the first sketch has a sheer overlay. The second sketch has a beaded belly chain attached. The third sketch has a sheer lace. The fourth sketch is about to fly off the page with sheer wings attached. Comment below which one is your favorite and which one do you think I will choose. While you're there, please like and share the video. Thank you. I turned the garment inside out and I'm going to seam rip the lining on the side seams on both sides. After seam ripping the lining from the dress, I found the midpoint and marked it at the bottom of the neckline. I'm going to measure down to 1 inch above the waistline and mark all the way across. This will be my cut line. The shift dress is officially separated into 2 pieces. I have the top on a dress form inside out, and I'm going to tailor it to my body by creating darts. I pin at the shoulder seams to keep it in place. I also pin the side seams. I start to pin the dart where it naturally falls. Then mark the side seams and darts with tailor's chalk. Now that I marked the side seam, I need to take in the back, but I don't want darts in the back, so I created a new side seam on both sides. I take the garment to the sewing machine to sew the darts on the front using a basting stitch. Then I sew the side seams using a basting stitch. I'm going to use a seam ripper to open the center back seam. I have the top half of the dress inside out. Off camera, I resewed the side seams and darts. Now I'm going to take the basting stitch out using the seam ripper. Here's a view up close. I could serge the raw edges, but I'm going to use my pinking shears to cut the raw edges of the side seams and trim the darts. This is 1.5 inch soft waistband elastic that I'm going to use on the waistband of the top and the skirt. Off camera, I pinned the elastic to the bottom of the wool fabric and the lining. I'm using a zigzag stitch to sew the elastic with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. I'm using a rotary cutter for the excess fabric. Here's a closer look at the clean cut. The elastic will lie flat on the waistline. Moving on to the skirt. I had to take in the skirt about 2 inches. I've made pleats along the front and back of the garment. Off camera, I sewed the pleats with a basting stitch. Then I sewed down the pleats about 1.5 inches from the waistline. Here's what the skirt looks like right side up. Using the same elastic, off camera I pinned the elastic to the waistline of the skirt. I'm using the zigzag stitch to sew the elastic onto the skirt with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Off camera, I sewed the center back seam and left open the seam where the zipper will be placed. On the top, I'm going to use a 5 inch closed bottom exposed zipper. I pinned the zipper in, and off camera I sewed the zipper with a straight stitch. I'm going to hand sew the lining off camera. I'm going to finish the top of the zipper by hand sewing it in between the wool and the lining, like a sandwich. Now I'm going to sew the elastic using a zigzag stitch to close the seam. Here's a final look at the top, front, and back.